It came back? Am I connected? Did it get disconnected? I had like an interruption. I was cracking up because it was like, yo, I'm literally talking about the goofiest thing right now. It's just like, stop. Like, got it. Gonna not admit to being uh, a little apple pie full of sunshine about things. Yeah, right? Did it disconnect? It did disconnect. Yeah, I got disconnected for a minute. I don't know why. I mean, hey, happy Easter. Happy birthday. No, I think I was disconnected and they probably didn't go through. I'm trying to figure that out right now, actually. Yeah, okay, so there's a 6-minute video of me admitting that I don't know how time works, even though I'm the one who claimed to be a time traveler. And you might think that sounds awfully hypocritical. However, linear time and spatial time are two completely different ball games, and I'm only playing on one team that's spatially. Okay. So let's let it go right now and like not make fun of me for being like less than a whole Christmas tree sometimes about some things. Do you see how good I'm getting at not cussing though? I'm like really proud of myself. But the more I say angel dusters instead of motherfuckers or whatever, even though like moms deserve to be loved and get fucked too, I guess. So like is motherfucker that bad or are we putting it on the ass list? I don't know yet. But every time I say angel dusters, people think that I'm referring to like PCP people smoking PCP or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that one might not actually be any better than calling someone like an idiot because it just sounds like I'm, you know. I've been see. That's an interesting question that you're asking, and way better than whatever I was rambling about. Because I've debated on whether or not I believe in reincarnation fully since becoming, or since, well, I say we have to have necromancy. Yeah, but think about it. Like, if a grown ass man fucks your grown ass mom, like, I don't know. It's not like I don't know, right? But I get you. The Angel Duster, I don't think is better. I think it sounds like it's PCP. So we're probably not going to use that one, even though it sounds cute. Maybe Fairy Duster, because that's not slang for street drugs, you know? Right. That's what I'm saying. Or your real dad, like, or whatever. Like, I don't know. It just seems like not like it's not like moron, where it's like a whole thing with archaic times of mental illness, right? So it's like, fuck gets to stay. Does motherfucker get to stay? I don't know, but I don't think Angel Dusters is really making the list. You know what I'm saying? It's just they call PCP Angel Dust. So anyway, your question about reincarnation, like I used to always kind of believe in Mother Trucker. Why bring truckers into it? I don't want my mom in somebody's truck. What the fuck? No, come on. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Okay, see, and this is why I was like, classically or traditionally, I don't think I even really believe in like full blown reincarnation as much anymore. Even though that was one of not I wouldn't say a core principle, but that was my most desired belief in my earliest days of like journey. I would even like when I was young and being indoctrinated in the Catholic Church, I still thought like, yo, reincarnation sounds way more lit than heaven. Like I don't know if I want to leave. Like I don't want to go anywhere. I kind of want to stay here. Maybe try again. Like that sounds cool. So I always wanted to believe in reincarnation, but now I see things in that way, sort of. With like, okay, so say your human body holds like so much energy because of the sheer size that we are. So then when it evades you, escapes you, it's not going to necessarily inherit an entire new human body. Probably because just the very disruption of no longer circulating will probably disrupt the energy enough to split it off, in theory. And then, like further on to that, it just seems like it would be too hard to truly like inhibit another human being because would you inhibit like a pregnant mother? Or would you inhibit a fresh baby? Because that seems wrong. Or would you inhibit a full grown person, which would seem difficult unless it was temporary, like possession or channeling and mediumship, where I feel like my idea of reincarnation has evolved into the acceptance that they just move around or jump or whatever, and that they're fully realized to some degree in another realm. And then if they want to make the choice to come back, it would be in the next lifetime. Not their next lifetime, but the next lifetime. I kind of feel like the only way to truly reincarnate is for everyone you've known to be gone. I don't know though, because I've also felt like I had a reincarnated life really right before I was born and came back or something for someone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a not a perfect method, but maybe that comes in with the time travel reincarnation, you know. And that might sound silly to people, that's fine. Um yes, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Yes, exactly. There's so many parallels to this, and there's so many projections. If it's all smoke and mirrors, and we're talking astral plane, and then we're talking reincarnation, we're talking soul divide energy, then then it could theoretically project itself. Like I couldn't see why that wouldn't be possible in a sense. But that's just a snippet of a take, because I wouldn't really know how that works. you know? But I think that some, especially like babies, probably are a lot easier to inhibit because they can't talk. They can't say no, or they can't like fully understand the world around them, let alone the world within them. So I feel like it's unfair, and I feel like most people wouldn't do it. Like, who would do that unless you were like really evil or really needed to talk to somebody? So I just feel like reincarnation is probably more people becoming animals and getting more in touch with their natural instincts or their stripped back lives with nature or something. But, like, I'm not necessarily sure people even reincarnate as humans. But then the concept of animals being almost like a higher sentience than us because they don't communicate, which a lot of people would think the opposite or do say that we're like the top of the food chain, smartest, most evolved. When in reality, it almost seems like we're the least evolved because we have to actually use language, words, pictures, telecommunication devices. It seems like the weakest. Seems like the bottom. We can't kill shit without weapons. That doesn't just automatically put us at the top. It just puts us like behind a gate of fear. Like you can't take on a lion. We're not the top. I'm sorry, we're not the top of the food chain. I don't know why textbooks and science and like just like education in general or whatever just like fucking. What do you disagree with? You are free to disagree. I don't care, but I don't know what you're. I've said so much. There's like a slight delay in the chat, so just like whatever you say, stuff like that. Just like I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you would think I'd be a big fan of the Tibetan Book of the Dead because I'm a big fan of the Grateful Dead, and that's like where they got their name from. But I didn't read it. Never came upon it. And I think if I did, I'd probably traded it for something else, or just wasn't ready for it, or because I don't really read books anymore. You disagree that humans are the most important, or you disagree, comma, humans are the most important? Sorry, it wasn't any clearer once you said it. But I didn't say important. You get what I'm saying? It could go either way, where it's like I disagree that humans are the most important, or I disagree with you because I think humans are most important. Sorry, Tom, it's not my fault, and I don't understand what you're saying. Like, here. So anyway, um, I don't even remember what the fuck we were just talking about besides that. Except, yeah, humans just not being the top of evolution like they think they are. That just doesn't make sense. We have to fucking use weapons and bombs and money and ballistas. It's very odd. It's just like, it seems like so many extra steps when most of nature telecommunes with itself. Like, why are we not doing that? Because we're not very evolved, are we? No. Or a fucking hybrid from an extraterrestrial mixed with some kind of animal, probably a mammal of some sort. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're not here to really talk about that. I'm just mentioning it. So are we though? Like I said, it's like sure we built stuff, we made fire, but everybody else just figured out how to survive without all that extra stuff. That's why I'm wondering if we're really as smart as we think we are, or if we made our lives harder for no reason. Because now literally almost everyone in the world is struggling, except for like the uber rich who maybe struggle with guilt. I don't know. Um, maybe. Did we? I don't know. Transcended what? We're all miserable. We all live under the. Well, we don't all. Everybody's different in the world. There's probably some people who are like just as evolved as the rest of nature, but they live in remote parts of the world, and I have no access to them or knowing them. Like that to me is truly evolved. But this is fun. There's something. There's something great about being unevolved, and like the conquest of more. Um, and being able to do what we want and express ourselves in ways that literally like no one else does other than song and music. I think that's why for some people they're like whatever, it's fine, and for me personally it's like very divine because it's something that pretty much most species use to communicate, and it's one of the only things they use to communicate is through song and dance, which is extraordinary. But also seems like maybe that's peak evolution, just singing and dancing. We nailed it. And then humans were like, but we could be fighting and fucking and buying stuff. Well, everybody's fucking. So what's your point? They're like, but can you buy it? What? I guess. Go ahead. We're all just gonna be sleeping in twigs and leaves. If y'all want brick houses or whatever. But again, it's cool. It's been fun. It's been like a very interesting like progression. It's not that we haven't progressed. It's a progress, but you know, I feel like it's a demise. I think it's a dissension, in a way. But it's still beautiful. It's a beautiful thing for sure. I'm a strange bird. I'm a strange bird. Cracking a cold one with the boys. It's a little pink Coke. I had to have one for Easter, right? Yeah, because that shit got weird. Don't think humans are evolved? Y'all the ones that hate each other so damn much. Anyway, y'all. Um, how's it hanging? How's it going? I don't know. I guess I could do some tarot. I honestly think I probably won't stream for super duper long, and we'll just end up doing these personal readings that I meant to do and then didn't do and then need to do and yet. It is Easter. It feels like prime time for it, but we should probably fit in some general stuff first. Yeah, would be nice. For the boys, for the boys. Um, any requests on decks? I feel like because it's Easter and Easter is so fucking gothic, I feel like we should just use the Halloween Oracle. Talk to some dead people like Jesus. Y'all want to talk Jesus? Y'all want to talk necromancy? Can't fucking talk about either one without talking about each other. Jesus was a necromancer, and people will still try to convince you that Jesus is the light and what I do is black magic or somehow inherently dark, even though I do what Jesus did. I fucking drink wine, right? And I talk to dead people. He brought them whole ass back from the dead. He was way more powerful necromancer than me. He had control and autonomy over death. I just talked to them. But it is very funny that people think that I'm somehow sacrilegious or blasphemous or Satanist when in reality I do what Jesus did. The fuck are you talking about? Miracles, magic sounds the same to me, brethren. Fuck are y'all talking about? Like, okay. Nobody liked Jesus either. They fucking crucified him for a reason. Making Easter even more gothic because they literally like Once again, we've talked about this before, but I don't know if it's every Christian religion, which I feel like highly it is not. But the Catholics, man, they are obsessed with his death, like obsessed with his death. All throughout Lent, which lasts for 40 fucking days. So that's like how many weeks? At least like 6 weeks, right? About 6 weeks, I should say. So every fucking Friday, they reenact the events of his death, like every fucking Friday, saying prayers, reading the story out loud, talk about he's got to carry this cross. He's got to be fucking thrown rocks and jeered at and booed and starved and dehydrated and stabbed and bloody, and all of his followers were beat up and chased out of town. And it's just really fucking morbid. It's like the most macabre story in history, or one of. There's so many. I shouldn't say the most, but it's up there. It's even more morbid that they just like regularly practice the telling of it, where it's like literally like, what? Why are you talking about this? Why are we doing this in the church? You say the church is sacred, and you're like, oh, don't sin, and then you talk about murder in the church. Like, no wonder y'all think that the Catholic Church is Satanist, because they like are. Y'all think I'm a Satanist, but then you think that the Catholics are Christians, but then you think the Christians are anti-Satan, but then you think the necromancy is of Satan, but then you don't realize Jesus is. It is extremely off-putting, and growing up, I didn't realize that. I think it was like being early, very, very early desensitized to violence to a degree, and I don't like it anymore. And maybe it's because I'm not seeing it regularly like I did when I was in Catholic school. Like, that's wild. That's wild. And it's just like, I don't, it's so funny. There's some woman, I met her one time, and it was like so uncanny. Never saw her again. Not even sure it was a real person. Who knows? With me, picking this up like, hey, smiling at you. Um, just when I said, yeah, I went to Catholic school, kind of casually. I think she asked about my powers or whatever. It was like, oh, I just do this and that. Comes up quick when you talk to me, because I don't know what the fuck else to tell people, especially if I get messages, right? So she's like, "Oh, how'd you end up in that?" I'm like, "Well, I went to Catholic school." And she stopped and she's like, "Why on earth would anybody put you through that?" And I'm like, "Well, um, I don't know." Because I didn't, but then in retrospect, in the moment, I don't even remember what I said. I was like, "Because it was a choice, it was a family thing, it's like lineage, it's passed down." I don't think people even realize it. Like, love that. Jesus probably was Buddhist. Like, Siddhartha lived before Jesus did, didn't he? Or no, Buddhism's not that old of a religion, but maybe about as old as Christianity. Maybe they knew each other. They're like India and Jerusalem can't be that far away, right? They're all in Asia, or technically, so I believe it. Um, I like Jesus, and there's a ton about Jesus' story that I really like. Not a ton about God's story that I really like. Like, he flooded the earth. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Y'all are like, no, yeah, you can't question him. Okay. Um, odd, but all right. Sounds like a murderous, devious bastard to me. But if you want to blame Lucifer, who got the job from God, then by all means do that, I guess. It's like, what? Okay. My brother in Christ, yes. Lucifer. It's okay. So there's a lot about the Bible I don't like, but the Jesus stories are pretty cool. Okay, that's what I thought, is that Siddhartha was like way before Jesus, but I wasn't sure. So I was like, well, if it was the same time, they weren't too far away. um, because yeah, Jesus was probably a Buddhist. He had to be something before. Like, I think there was a little bit of like atheism going on with his group, because they were like nationalist radicals and anti-Gloria, so they probably were just anti-Glory in general, in a sense, but I don't know for sure. Um, right. I feel like he was probably Buddhist. And that's why it was the start of why he became so unpopular. King James really fucked the Bible, right? Like that was the one. Or no, he has like the crazy violent Bible. Somebody translated that shit, took out all the gay stuff, like the fact that Jesus was probably just trans. And this whole thing was just like some story about a trans guy or trans woman. I don't know. The Bible's confusing. Do you remember this tonight? I was trying to find the verse for somebody today. I thought I wrote it down somewhere, but I couldn't find it in my notebook where I read a random verse from the Bible. Don't even remember why I got the number for it. And it just sounded like Jesus was talking about trans people. It was crazy. He was like, prefer when a woman becomes a man like us. And it's like, what? What? For soon she will become man like me, and therefore she will be better as we are. So it was literally, that's not verbatim, but it was like very, what? That sounds like transitioning. What? And then they want to convince you, like the Christians are like the first ones to be like, God didn't want it that way. And it's like, God bore a son that became a daughter, or vice versa. Like, I don't know what you're not getting about this. Died and came back to life. Like, sweetie, you hear that, right? It's like dead name, maybe Simon, Peter, just it's there. It's there. I don't know. I don't know why they would tell you all this random stuff about Jesus being a homophobe when he was clearly. Ooh, that's interesting too. Egypt is so. It's so interesting. It's so interesting, and I love how much we know about ancient Egypt, considering how long ago it really was. And I love how it's like the most speculated era ever because it completely dissipated. It like damn near entirely fell apart. At least, well, yeah, religiously and politically. Like Akhenaten was the fall of ancient Egypt, and then it was just kind of like up for grabs at that point. And that's why you would see like Buddhist missionaries and Christianity and fair. Yeah, lots of them are. I feel like, pardon me, I feel like I never am so loud on stream. I feel like a hybrid theory remains, as though copulation from the outer atmosphere of Earth and brought down to Earth could apply to both. Then now, I think it's like the big main. They work on it for a while and they implement the new. Maybe that's part of the timeline breaking. I don't know yet. Um, thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, I don't know why I sound like a fucking chihuahua when I sneeze. Um, I felt there was like undeniable evidence of some semblance of religion based on this sheer fact that so many of them are so simple. So, oh, that sneezing really got some puff to the eyes. Somebody else sneezing? I didn't sneeze all night. I woke up and sneezed. Maybe sneezed once. A few hours ago. Who is that? Ugh. Go back to bed or something. I don't know. We didn't start any tarot yet, though. We're just kind of chilling and chatting right now. Um, I did want to do some tarot. I'm thinking that maybe we could do a bit of necromancy in Jesus, as mentioned and discussed for the past half an hour. I think I got a sneeze again. I think I got another one. I don't know where this is coming from right now. Who's sneezing? Why is this just happening? Literally, number 4, if you're sick, you better stay away. You got some allergies? Take some Zyrtec. The fuck are you doing coming out here and sneezing up the fucking stream? I haven't sneezed at all since I started. Holy shit, that's like the most I've sneezed in a while. Okay, I'm gonna take an ad break. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I'm gonna take an ad break so I can blow my fucking nose now. Thanks a lot, sick you bang fuck. I'm sorry. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Thanks so much. Maybe with tarot. I don't know yet. Hey y'all. Remember when Easter was on 420? Praise it, blaze it. But no, really. Do I look like an Easter egg? That's what a Fabergé Easter egg. That's kind of what it was. It's a great dress, right? It's just from the thrift store. Yeah. I look like a fucking Fabergé Easter egg. I nailed it. I was so excited. I was so excited. Praise it, blaze it. When Easter was on 420, I ate meat for the first time in 10 years. I had been a vegetarian. Thank you for the follow, Arfer. And made a bet that I would eat Easter ham, and I got really stoned. So honey baked bitch had some honey baked ham, and I've been eating meat ever since. I had a vegan phase for like probably a good solid 2 years, but now I'm mostly vegan and eat whatever the fuck I want most of the time. You know. But yeah, it was when Easter was on 420, I gave up being a vegetarian. And like the opposite. Well, no, I think at the time I was feeling a little anti-religious, and I had said like, "Yo, I'm gonna give up meat for Lent," and everyone was like, "Haha, you haven't eaten meat in 10 years." Kind of a cop out, don't you think? And I was like, "How do you know?" And then my brother placed a bet and said, "Don't let me down, bro. I bet that you would do it." And yeah, I've been a fucking fiend ever since. I'm trying, but sometimes as a bleeder, you just kind of need. I'm not gonna burn one of these because they are very great. I said I was gonna come back with tarot, but I think I just wasn't totally ready yet. I just had to blow my nose. um, is somebody drinking alcohol? Don't lie. Who's drinking alcohol? Or maybe you just are drunk already, right? Like you just been drinking all day. It's brunch, it's Easter, it's mimosas, that's what my plans were, and I canceled because I just felt so damn tired. From life, I guess. Mostly life, I guess. But yeah. Well, somebody is drinking. It's alright if you are. They left, so I guess it didn't matter. Check off. Quiet. What's up? Nobody? Just kidding. Um, I'm just warming up. I'm just getting into stuff. Damn. Only been 40 minutes. Lighting the Sagittarius incense. Okay. Excellent. So, what's everybody doing tonight? I already asked that. Nobody answered. It's okay. It's just like chill. Hey, cool name. You've been here before? I don't remember you, to be honest. It's been a while. Cool. Nice. I'm not doing tarot yet. And then when I do, I don't really do personal readings. See what you get. You get a lot. And anybody who watches my channel can attest to that. I'm just like doing my little warm up chat. But if you have any other questions, by all means, ask away. Just packing up some, you know, greenery for Jesus, obviously. Right? A little bit of green stuff in there. Hey everybody, happy Easter. How's it going? Favorite Fabergé egg on the internet. Here with some necromancy. No mimosas. Hopefully you brought something. I just got the greens. We're gonna do tarot in a second. I'm gonna use my Halloween oracle probably, and I also have this pile of cards where I've been doing this thing lately, where at one point, oh, okay. Listen, sounds like if you're going from a place that's got misery in the name to a place that songs are written about, I would say it's probably a good move. Yeah, think about that. But I think my real advice, rather than asking the cards or using a pendulum, because we gotta fix that pendulum. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Or maybe I just wasn't allowed to have my answers. Who knows? Or maybe I just didn't want the answers I got. I don't know. I would say think of this time. It's the beginning of the year. It's the beginning of a new decade, which sounds confusing, but it's true. It's going to be 2023. 2033 is going to be a whole ass karmic cycle. So whether or not you learned your lessons will show in the ways that you perceive things, the way you speak on things, the way that you plan things, the way that you look at things. And at some points, we need to focus on the things we're getting rid of. We need to focus on detoxing what we don't want. And those are times we're going through black holes. But then there's times we need to focus on what we do want because it's going to grow, because whatever we speak will volume and anything that comes will become tenfold. We call those Trinity spots. So right now, being the beginning of the year, beginning of zodiac year, right? Aries season is the beginning. Easter, first major holiday of the zodiac calendar, because it's all about the spring rebirth, and it is about very, the religious context of it, holy, divine, etc. Divine, feminine, and masculine appearing in the same person as Jesus, right? Trans dude. It's fine. We don't have to go back to that conversation. We already did it. Watch the beginning of the stream if you want to know more. Um, so right now, the more you question the unknown, the more questions you'll have over the next fucking decade, really. Which a universal decade is 11 years. It makes more sense to file it that way. So I think it will. You know, as long as you can move your happiness with you wherever you go. We'll do the Halloween Oracle and the Cosmic Deck of Initiation. The Halloween Oracle, I don't know if we're going to talk to anybody or if we're just going to focus on the shadow self. But we'll talk about more of what you need to let go of from last year and the last karmic cycle and get a little kind of insight on. Here's the thing, it's a lot already set in stone. It's a lot already happened. It's a lot already things been decided. But there's also this sense of like it's gonna unfold in front of you over the next 6 months to lock in what's going down over the next 10 years, right? So if you think back to the last decade, and there's always, listen, 444 on there too, there's always gonna be an insane mile marker for the decades. If you look back, we'll start with the most recent one. If 2023 is the beginning, then the last one, 11 years, would be 2012 to 2022. 2012, end of the world. We all were there for that, right? If any of you weren't there for that, get off my fucking stream, go to bed. But we were all there for that. So we all remember the hype, the panic. A decade before that would have been 2011 to 2001. That's when everybody survived Y2K, right? Hey, Dink. The decade before that would have been 1990 to 2000. Once again, fear, panic, torture, destruction. It was very dark times in the 90s. As much as everybody wants to like glorify it, it was very dark times. It was not a good karmic cycle for the people who were there. It was not a pleasant time. It was a very much facing reality, getting to the end of some great era, an entire millennium of the collective consciousness reflecting on an entire fucking millennium, whether they realized it or not. A lot of darkness came up. It's when we've started to see the effects of what we've done in the last 100, 200, 300 years. And, a lot of what I say is not explicit to America, but the timelines or references I use are very American US based. So that's just because it's where I'm at in my experience. I never really left the continent. So, you know, um, there's that. But I think many of you, especially probably particularly like places like I know a lot of people from Australia watch. Hey, I don't know, maybe I'm sorry, colonizer history. Anybody can kind of probably relate to what I'm saying, but the 90s was the time where we were like, oh shit, this is gonna catch up to us, isn't it? Like, this isn't just gonna go away. They were like reflecting on everything, consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously or in a karmic way, and in that being kind of the repetitive lessons, cycles, motions of the way things is. I don't know, but it's going. Happy Easter! Happy Easter! Happy Easter! Everybody. Just like a Fabergé egg. But I got cold, so I had to put my sweater on. But like grandma's Sunday sweater and Easter egg. It's good. It's a good Easter look, right? Okay. Anyway, yeah. So um back to the menu tonight. I've got these miscellaneous cards. I collect them. I used to pick up the cards that would fall off the table and like put them aside and say, "Oh, this is future coming in." Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, we hear you. Everybody cool. Everybody got their fucking places. They're watching. Blah blah blah. Shut up. You don't need to be addressed every single time you come out here. Shut up. That's rude. That's rude. I will tell a funny story in a minute. I will. Karmically, I deserve it. I get that. That's what we're talking about was karmic cycles right now. So we will reflect on some of my karmic moments as to why y'all have to watch me feel some type of way about certain things on here, certain stories and narratives, or have to fucking be harassed or even like sense the lurking that's more aligned with spying and scrying than it is with like listening and fine tuning, right? Anyway, I think they left or they're faking it again. They do that. Whatever. Listen, we'll get there. These are what I collected. So instead of putting them aside per every reading and saying, oh, these are the future cards, then I just collect them, put them aside, and wait until they accumulate into a little spread and just read them all together. Um, so I'll do that. I was gonna do it last stream, and I think I ended up not doing any tarot because I was like, "Yo, H.P. Lovecraft." By the way, if you were here for the squid stuff, I will get back to that, but it will likely be tomorrow, if not like Thursday, Friday, because I okay. Ugh, I'm glad I brought that up too. I know it's a little disjointed because it's a lot to catch up on, and my brain is in factory mode where it's just like producing hella thoughts, hella creative energy, all these fucking understandings, revelations, like rapid firing. So I literally physically cannot keep up with it. So if it seems very disjointed, you'll notice that days like this or nights like this, when I trail off, I fucking right back to what I was saying. Like it's more like this than like this when I'm a little more like, oh yeah, and then ha 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 ha. You know, it's this. Anyway, um, these cards will be quick, and then because it's Easter, we'll do the Halloween Oracle, which might be a channeled message, might not be, might just be a reflection on the shadowy side of ourselves, right? What we hide. And then the Cosmic Deck of Initiation is a very springtime deck. And even though Easter is an homage to necromancy and the dead and resurrection, I feel like um, we also do need to honor the fact that it's rebirth, reborn, reformed, uh, transformed, if you will, and the growth that comes with spring and the beauty of everything green, gold, purple, petaled, and beautiful, right? Cool. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Um. No. What? No. No. I ain't even trying to be rude, but I literally told you before I gave you all that random insight that you asked for that I don't do personal readings on my channel, so don't do this all night. Thank you so much. No offense. I know I'm bitchy sometimes. I apologize that his filtration system is lacking. Like, indefinitely. The sass is unreal. It wasn't personal. I have to act that way so nobody else does it because there's like probably at least 30 people who've never seen my stream before that are like waiting for me to give turns or something. I don't know. I'm kind of joking. Maybe you're one of the three. I don't fucking know. Anyway, Morphian. Good morning, merry moments. Merry morning, Morphian. Um, sorry, isn't that like the Marianne thing? I just watched True Blood, so there is a Marianne in season 2 of True Blood, but I think is it Alice in Wonderland? And the rabbit's always yelling, Marianne, Marianne. So that's where I was thinking Morphean was giving Alice in Wonderland vibes. Yeah. Yeah. Just so you know, Morphean. It's the rabbit telling you you're late. And as a Taurus, knowing you're a Taurus could be a good reminder that you might be running lately. I'm late to everything all the time. I'm not even saying that in like a funny way or in a prideful way. I literally have a chronic timing issue that I have done everything in my goddamn power to rectify. Really, nothing works. Does not matter what time I wake up, how many alarms I set, what part of my cycle it is. There's a good chance that if I gotta be somewhere, I'm gonna be fucking late. And there's just I don't know. I'm the rabbit. That's cool. Thank you. I do need to get something going for that. I have well, the thing is I have chat rules, but I think the chat rules only come up the first time you chat. But then like even first time chatters will come on and say, "Can I get a reading?" And it's like, well, you didn't read my rules, so now I feel like I should just be a bitch to you. Why didn't you read before you spoke? That's okay. Not everybody speaks English. I try not to be a huge fucking cunt. And if I am, I'm like, well, really, the word cunt is derived from the word kuntas, which was the only word in any language that described the entire ecosystem inside of a female body. Listen, I'm sorry. It would probably be smart for me to get that going. I don't even know how to do the commands on Twitch, honestly. So if someone said join and like a list pops up, I could just be like, there is none, bitch. Goodbye. Or whatever. But I don't even know how to do it. I go with the flow a little too much. And someone came on here last week and they said you gotta be more in touch with your tonal body. And tonal sounds like frequency tones or whatever to me. And I was like, bitch, no, I do not. You are a fucking fraud because I need to get out of that. And they said, no, 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 no. Tonal is physical body, as if you were toning it, right? The tonal body is the one you can tone. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I do need to get in touch with my tonal body. You should stay. And then it was this moment. It was a weird night, but still. That's funny. Why? Well, yeah, because okay, here's my thing. I like totally agree because Lewis Carroll is kind of creepy, like beyond creepy. I already know about this one. But my thing with Alice in Wonderland is not only has it not necessarily survived so long that it's had all the adaptations that it has, to the point where you can hardly take away every adaptation just because of some dead dude who never made money off the story in the first place and had no estate to leave it to. And also, why strip Alice of her moment in history where she was the victim of this man's pedophilic obsession? And yet, in the story, she wins. And I'm pretty sure they never had relations. I think he literally, it was like Lolita. Like, he was obsessed with her, watched her, wrote stories for her, and like tried to, like, I'm pretty sure her mama was like, hell no. From what I read, like, there could be a different account, but from what I recall reading about, like, there was never a relationship, which doesn't give him a pass. But I feel like Alice deserves her moment in history as being the one who was protected and had better things to do than get sucked into some karmic cycle with some pedophilic creep who was Lewis Carroll and everything. Which I think was a pen name anyway. So he like dissociated himself um, with the writing anyway. He did. He did. But she gets out in the end. You know what I'm saying? Because he never got to have her. That's why I always like when I learned about Lewis Carroll, I had a hard time with it because like I read Alice in Wonderland. I loved that book in high school and Through the Looking Glass. It was like it was an early inspiration to just like kind of lean into my own insanity, which may have just been necromancy and PMDD the whole time, but to me it felt like schizophrenia. Different occasions where I was like, I don't know what the fuck, feel crazy. Um, but yeah, I feel like the only reason that I'm okay with all that, well, Disney sucks too. But once again, when you have these like productions where it's like hundreds, if not thousands of people working on something, then it's very hard to just like discredit the work of all of those people because they maybe didn't know as much about the origins. And we also don't realize that like we're so well informed that for a long time people really weren't informed at all. They literally like didn't have the internet, you guys. Like you couldn't just easily look something up about someone. You would have had to go to the little fucking library and hope that they had information on it, check it out. Like I don't know what people think where not everyone had access to Lewis Carroll's biography. Not everyone knew that he was like some creepy pedophile Lolita guy. And even still, Vladimir Nabokov or whatever, is that his name? Did I just pull his name out of my ass? Is that who wrote that book? I read that book in high school too. And I was like, God damn, this is really good. This is so beautiful. And then you take a second, you're like, holy fuck, he is talking about a fucking 9-year-old. What the fuck is this? But then you're like, damn, that language. He's so, wow. Oh my God, she is 14, dude. You know, like, oh man, it's a roller coaster. Who was that guy? Who was that guy? Why do people still, why did anybody make a film adaptation of that? So it's very hard because when you see how Nickelodeon's gone under about the pedophilia and Disney has its own demons, but never really necessarily got busted in that way. They just had like the purity kid. They had a weird, almost like a Christian blanket on their weirdo stuff, but they did not do nearly as much damage as Nickelodeon seems to have done. You know what I mean? Like, look at, I'm just saying, right? And the Mickey Mouse Club, sure, but I'm just saying, seems like Nickelodeon was really doing way more damage. But was it a bunch of pedophiles who decided to choose a story about the other pedophile? Because it seems like something pedophiles do is just keep circulating each other's shit and keeping the just stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it got to this point somehow. So I get the mixed feelings on it because, yeah, I mean, if you know, you know, but if you don't, you don't. So, like, even though information was less accessible at the time, if you were a part of that crowd, then, like, yeah, that could have been intentional that they did that. But does it discredit the animators' work that they put out in 1968? That movie is, I don't even think it's, I think it's like 1961, like crazy old. I really love that movie, and I don't think I'll ever stop loving that movie. I love the live action movie too. 1951. I said 68, no 61. It was 1951 that they did that, and that is just so fucking impressive. And Lewis Carroll was long dead at that point. But these are the types of situations where it's like, I guess I might be able to separate that art from the artist because it's not even the artist's art anymore. But they're like, I don't know. I'm still just pissed on David Bowie's grave. I'll say it out loud and I'll say it again. I don't give a fuck. If you're fucking teenagers, fuck you too, bro. That's so gross. Like, listen, if you're a teenager and you're teenaging, it's different. Well, unless it's still, you can have some really uncomfortable age gaps, and people are like, oh, but it's just a year or two. And it's like, it's massive mental, physical, emotional, and like spiritual development in those very few years. Like, the fuck is actually wrong with y'all wanting prepubescent or like underdeveloped bodies and brains? Like, it's weird to me. It's just never gonna stop being weird, you know. The lust for youth is very, very vampiric. Speaking of the Catholic Church, though, it is Easter. These things need to come up for days like this. Whenever the whole world is afraid of a bunch of kids who worship Baphomet and they don't even recognize that Jesus is the one doing necromancy and shit. That's like, hello, hello. Hmm. I think it's time to start the tarot. Good news for everyone. I ranted so much to make people uncomfortable enough to leave, and now that it's back to the six of us, we're gonna do the tarot. We got the randos to be gone. Oh my god, yeah, there was so much in that movie that is just like deranged next level, like fucked up. Agreed. The whole thing is. That's the thing, is it's like it's about as fucked up as it is, yeah. The truth behind it is about as fucked up as it fucking is, right? Fucking nuts. Anyway, I was gonna wear these because like blue light blocking, but I just don't feel like it. Fucker, what fucking time is it right now? Where have you been? Are you what the Are you day walking now? It's Easter Sunday night. I haven't seen you in so long. What's going on? Do you sleep at night now? Happy holiday. Happy Easter. And the other like Wiccan versions of springtime stuff. Where have you been? You missed some really good stuff. Okay. You're day walking now? That's crazy. Speaking of dreams, so the squids, we will resume that conversation with the HP Lovecraft stuff. I don't know. I'm too tired and like just don't give a fuck today. But that night I did that stream. I woke up and this was the first time in a long time, like a long time, that I vividly remember a dream. Like I always am conscious of the fact that I'm dreaming. And they say if you smoke weed, you like don't remember your dreams. A lot of people who quit smoking weed will have like really fucking intense dreams. Listen, I just was about to finish season 4, and then my partner fell asleep halfway through the last episode. So we're like almost to season 5. I could not be more excited. But I do love the sun, and I admit I was outside for like 5 minutes and said, "Fuck this." Sometimes when I'm like in oversensitivity mode from all the estrogen and I just can't stop crying over nothing. Girl, I was watching season 4 of True Blood, bawling my eyes out for about what? It's the corniest season. Like I like it, but it's corny. The acting is camp for the first time in the whole series, like overdone camp. And it is like corny as hell, but I'm like, no spoilers. But yeah, I'm just like, what in the fuck? So going outside, noises, light, I'm just like, I'm not doing it today. I'm just not doing it today. So I feel perfectly fine. LOL, that's season 2. Anyways, I like both. I like both was what I was getting at. As much as I'm up all night, y'all, I get so much sun time. I just like I have like really unproductive days and really productive nights, you know? Like I do all my work at night, but like I fuck around. That was season 2. Okay. I bet that's all you say. Right. We are about to switch to tarot in a minute. We're just wrapping up a few conversations before you do. So the squids. It was the first time in a minute that I really was like woke up and was like, that was that a dream or did that happen last night? But if it happened last night, why did I wake up thinking about it if I didn't just see it? But I swear to God, I fucking saw it. Well, that's okay, fair enough. But shut up then. Because I don't need to know that. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so sassy. I think Source knows that I'm just really fierce about spoilers, and sometimes I'm moodier than other times, and that I'm a bratty princess or whatever the fuck that is. Bratty McBatty. Okay. Dreams are legit. So I was talking about the squids all night. No, I'm not only mean to you, I promise you. What an insult to everyone that I have ever been mean to publicly on this stream. What an insult to everyone who's ever had a shining moment, hall of shame in the illy milly verse of stream. For you to say that I'm only mean to you. Selfish. Selfish. Everybody gets a bite. It's the nature of the beast, right? How dare you take away my meanness as if it were exclusive to you. I am mean to everybody at any given time. Anyways, no, sometimes there really isn't. There's sometimes like moments where I get a little more active or heated than other times, but you're right. I'm usually like deadpan about it. Like, why would you want to? But you're such a Virgo. You just want to scrap for life. Looking for my um my cage mate. What do you call? I'm looking for my cage match partner for life. That's like a Virgo and like searching for love. Fucking like I almost said kill me now, and that was probably you thinking that, not me saying that. Um, act like y'all ain't like that. Sagittarius over here. I thought that was Richard, whatever his name is, Ayudi. And I was like, his hair is wrong, but the face and the glasses are so right. Because I have, I don't know, it's like dark mode, so it's like I couldn't see his hair, so I just saw this. What is this? What the fuck happened here? You see it? Is when it's really tiny or no? And do you know who I'm talking about? I cannot get okay, apparently I'm following him because it just popped up now that I clicked the fucking Bitmoji and I can't get rid of it. There we go. I hope you like him. I hope he's cool, bitch. Sometimes I just throw a bitch in there like onomatopoeia. It's nothing personal. Anyways, so the squids conversation was pretty intense and really weird. And I was like, you guys, look at this and imagine the universe. And I think everyone was just like dead ass quiet. Like, okay. Is she okay? Okay. And I'm like pointing to stuff that's definitely not there. It was like an hour and a half. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed. And that night I had this fucking dream. Yes, I'm saying I think you've missed my last like 3 or 4 streams, homie. Like you haven't spoken up in a while. Yeah. No, yeah, I went into it. I've mentioned them so many times. Um, okay, but I did 2 in one night, right? And then, okay, okay, let's see. I think it was more than that, but okay. Uh, um, you probably watched a replay and think you were there. Come on now, Clementine. Yeah, well, that's you were there for that night, exactly. So you were there for that night, and then we were talking about H.P. Lovecraft, and I was like, that dude went insane about some squids. He probably met the same squids, but he was an atheist, which is interesting. But his dad has psychosis, and I was like, that's even more interesting because what in the fuck? You're missing out. Um, where I was like, yeah, when I experienced psychosis is when I saw the squids for the first time. So what the fuck's that about? And that's what prompted the deep dive, right? Like the night before I had said fuck the squids, but I'm starting to kind of come back around on the squids where it's not necessarily fuck the squids. It's just that the squids exist. They're the most neutral force of the universe, but they're also into chaos and torture because it's weird because they're also really into love and like that's what makes it confusing. What? Transformers like the fucking robots? Um, I'm trying not to use aliens anymore. I'm like literally trying not to use the word alien anymore because it's Latin for a group of slaves. Alienus was a designated name for a group of enslaved people, and I call myself an alien more than I use it for anything else. And I need to stop calling myself a slave. That's ridiculous. If I'm trying to work on all my slur words, like not saying idiot or moron and stuff anymore, I don't really say heavier slurs than that, y'all. Um, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking you what you're talking about. I think it's very common for people who experience psychosis and they don't know how to talk about it and they put it in their art. And I think that's what was going on with H.P. Lovecraft. And the thing is, he was so racist, but dude, I have had crazy, crazy experiences dealing with psychosis. Though it's very much centered around race wars for some reason, and it's like and I just sit there questioning it back, like, "Why though? Why though?" And then, like, this divide and blah, 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 and I kinda didn't think anything of it and was like, "No, somebody's just fucking with me, like, that's just the evil, the shadow side or, society around me," and I, like, overcame these ideas. Not I never accepted them, it was like I was gonna kill myself. I was literally like, "Well, if that's what this is, then I'm out," and I tried to fucking just end it there when they showed me these things. All this evil in the world, all this, like, murder and hatred and bigotry, and, I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not just gonna start getting down with just only white people. What the fuck? I'd literally rather kill myself." That sounds fucked up to say out loud, but I'm telling you very, very like, "Oh, okay, sorry, we're getting too hype up. You should go to bed." No offense. I didn't mean to shut you down. I was just like, I'm talking fast. So there was very much like when everyone says there's like an inner war or a spiritual war going on, it's very driven with the bigotries that you see on a daily basis. And the H.P. Lovecraft conversation, which gotcha. Um, the H.P. Lovecraft conversation is the ones that got me thinking, holy fuck, the squids. So while they are manipulating in love, they're also manipulating in chaos. They like, because they have these vantage points, you know, that can just, there's one like centered at the core of the earth. Well, it's not the core of the earth because it's like very deep ocean, clogging all of Earth's portals, but we can't get to them anyway because we are crushed by the weight of the water before we get to that point, right? So these squids have total free reign access to space and the ocean, but of course, squids in our shallow oceans, because they're deep space, deep ocean creatures that can handle metric more of pressure, and we can't. They also can't really functionally exist in our world either. They can observe from above and they can float close to the top, but the average lifespan of a giant squid's about 3 years. So they haven't really been able to fucking come up and get us either. But they have this radius system on where they can float among the outer space of the tube system. Like imagine a human brain. They float between the base of the folds. And also are centered at the core of the ocean, the very, very depth of the ocean. So they have this system where they can communicate with one another and they can communicate to anything in between them using both. There's always two squids. There's always two squids because otherwise the one can't really see or have vantage point above unless there's something they can connect with easily and show it and meet. Crazy. Yeah, that's what you missed out on. So you don't do replays. I clicked your link. I'm looking at it now. Sorry. I had to finish what I was saying real quick. I don't know what I'm looking at though. Is it the video or is this an ad? I'm confused. I hope it's not. I don't want to watch a video right now, buddy. I thought this was going to be a picture. What the fuck is this? Man, you're joking. Mm. Is this like the movie, the game, like what is this? I'm so confused. I want to see a picture. I'm just gonna Google this. I don't know why you sent me this page. Is love fandom wiki stuff because like this shit is the best information. But I actually saw I was looking something up about True Blood and saw the worst spoiler ever. It hasn't happened yet, and I just like every moment I'm like, is this the moment? I'm not gonna talk. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, I saw really spoiler. Oh yeah, this is cool. I imagine them to be much more okay, because they're Transformers, their human stand-up form I don't really vibe with, but the other one, yeah, but darker. Um, but yeah, that's looking pretty accurate. They actually have 9 arms though. They have a secret 9th arm they don't want anybody to know about. And it's attached to something to where the reason we see squids with 8 arms is because they have to break off the 9th arm in order to float up. Okay, now I gotta click the second one. I knew I missed it. Whoa, he's cool. Whoa. Yeah, see, that's like very futuristic. That'd be more maybe the ones they've got in space in a similar way that we have satellites, but these aquatic ones are like the most ancient beings. They don't have all this extra techie shit. This is probably some futuristic take on things, but because they are the only ones based at the depths of these oceans, they're just like they pretty much don't evolve. There's no need to evolve. There's no competition. It's like the basic principles of everything else following it, and it survives. So it's like they live essentially forever unless they break off and go float up or go out. Really? I love that. That is so fucking cute. I didn't really know, but I've never robots in disguise kind of checks out then, right? That's so cute. I don't yeah, I wasn't getting anything from that. But the other depiction was like, damn, yeah, that's looking like not bad. Not too far off there. Um okay, so there was a funny story that I was telling y'all the other night. It has nothing to do with the squids, but my own karmic feelings was what was funny. No, why are you sorry? What are you apologizing for? I wanted to wrap up with the squids and then, like I said, maybe go a little bit deeper into it Thursday or Friday. Cause like the next couple days, I think I'm just gonna keep them a little bit lighter, shorter streams because it's kind of like vacation mode over here. Not total vacation mode. I got other shit to do. I wanted to do my merch drop today because I had Jesus merch and I like was not ready. I didn't have internet for a few days, but like I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna pressure myself to do that. It's Easter. I'm busy. I don't know. Oh wow. It's so wild. It's so wild. Um, so yeah, whatever. Maybe it'll be a merch drop for 420 or my birthday if I'm lucky. But there is so much. You don't need to. Just kidding, but I just am on a path of discovery. Um, I'm gonna roll ads. I'm gonna roll ads, and then I'm gonna come back with tarot. We have like 15 minutes until I'd have to roll them anyway, and I think if I roll one, it might not give us a full hour at this point. Usually, if it's over 30 minutes left, it'll give a full hour if I roll 1 minute, but I think I can roll three to get back to an hour at this point. So, yeah, we already kind of talked about Easter. You should have been here. No, what? Oh my god, yeah. I think you guys, I know I've been like hating on AI and AI chatbots and all this like algorithm stuff. I'm like, you guys are so dumb feeding it, blah blah blah. Well, apparently I'm dummy too because I thought somebody shared a link to a Barbie meme generator, and when I tell you I made so many of those bitches, I made so that they are so funny. They are so funny, and I made so many. Oh my god. And then I realized the link is literally .ai, and I was like, "Holy shit, I fell for it. I'm just as bad as everyone else now." But here's my Barbie memes. They're beautiful. I love them so much. I'm a sucker. It ain't lollipop because I ain't a fucking sucker is a lie. It's a lie. And guess what? So is the next line. So fuck down. Yeah, no, I know. Eventually you cave to everything, don't you? No, absolutely not. There's some things I'll literally never do. Thank you. Thank you. Have some fucking faith, bitch. Okay. 3 minutes. Get up, stretch. I'm not gonna put these on yet because I'm gonna get up and stretch. When I come back, we're gonna be in granny mode. Okay. We're gonna get started on these readings. Stretch, get some water, go to the bathroom, wash your hands, light some incense, get a snack, do what you gotta do. I'll come back in about 3 minutes. Give or take a few seconds. Oh my gosh, this Barbie is risen. Why didn't I yet? Okay, I will. Yeah, I'll do that right now while I'm stretching. Okay, tarot next. all they do is smoke weed and eat Triscuits and make Barbie memes. I'm doing it for like a day. Probably relax, but I really was eating Triscuits. So I just like chugging some water. There you go. It's fine for you because you're a sub. What do you care? Just kidding. But yeah, it would end up being like a 6 break. Um, doing something. Oh my god, if I sneeze again, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Am I though? Thank you. Looking from the window above, it's like a story. Can you hear me? Came back only yesterday, moving further away. Want you near me. All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew. Only you. Thanks. You probably are too, Virgo, born on August 29th. Everybody born that day is beautiful as fuck, am I right? Sometimes when I think of her name, and it's only a game, and I need you. Listen to the words that you say, it's getting harder each day. No, I don't know. So could everybody. I can't get rid of my belly. It's mostly my uterus. What are you gonna do? Like, cheers, you know? All I needed to love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew. Only you. Some Yes songs are pretty good. I feel like I listened to that album a couple times and I'm like, yo, this actually is pretty good. But it's nothing like that song, you know? This is gonna take a long time and I wonder what's right. Can't take no more. Thinking that you'll understand, it's just a touch of your hand behind a closed door. All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. Probably also refreshing to not see a bunch of shit written on my face. Stop using the word shit. Shit is weird. Why do we sit like nobody like when have you ever seen shit and been like, great? Like, yeah, okay. Fuck. Anyway, thank you. Probably nice not seeing all the extra words all over my face. Okay, you're right, and I literally did not think of that. Because I can't fathom it personally. But you're right. So maybe that's who started it. Maybe that's who started it, you know? Anyway, roadkill. Oh, pardon me. I don't know if that was like a hiccup, a choke, or a belch. No idea. Um, roadkill. What are you doing tonight? Happy Easter. I am about to read this little spread, and then we got the Halloween Oracle coming up. We're gonna be doing some necromancy shit or just talking to our shadow selves instead of the dead. And then I'm gonna do a zodiac drawing from the Cosmic Deck of Initiation for some springtime inspiration. weekend, and then I'm gonna go. So hopefully this is not a 7-hour stream, but who are you people lurking? Well, allow my inconsistently soothing but also loud voice lull you to sleep and wake you up from your nightmares. Good night. Good night. Anyway, you ate your shadow self. I lit that bitch up. I'm gonna pack this for sake of sec. Oh, everybody else is lurking. All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. But also, I started late as fuck. I'm not even allowed to be mad at anybody. I should have started like 2 hours before I really actually did. So, y'all gonna go to sleep. You gonna... Fair enough. Fair enough.